Ashley, thank you for joining me today on Pop Culture Unplugged.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Exciting times. Congrats on season three. I believe this is my favorite season so far on Yellowjackets.
I think so too. I think as a fan of the show, so many questions got answered. I know we have a lot more questions, but I feel
Right.
like what we've been like anticipating since season one, it's finally all out there.
Mhm. I like how, like the cast seems like a very tight-knit group. What was it like coming to into this world, first of all, of Yellowjackets, both on and off the screen and welcome you with the cast? Like, tell us a little bit about that.
It was really fun to come into a show that I've been a fan of for so long, just to
Okay.
be to like fall into the world and to show up on set. And they've built this like camp that wasn't there,
Uh,
at the cabin in season two that burned down. So just to physically be able to walk into the environment was really, really exciting. Like, I was kind of fangirling a little bit. Um, and the cast, they were just so excited to have new people on set because it's just been
right.
for so long. They haven't had any co-stars or guest stars come in, so they were just very grateful to have me, Joel, and Nelson there. So everyone was very welcoming, very kind. And when we do those big scenes, it's like a whole day we're just spending chatting with each other about whatever, everything, anything.
I mean, that's a big scene, especially when they're doing their little ritual thing, and all of a sudden you three popped up out of nowhere, and it's like, and that's how I love how that's how the episode ends, also.
So that was actually our first time walking down there was
Okay.
nighttime with Nelson and I,
Wow.
and they were doing the thing around the fire, and Courtney Lottie is like screaming, doing that like weird singing, screaming thing. And Nelson and I are just like, oh, what if what have we got ourselves into? This is
Right.
actually quite scary. But it was really fun. It was really fun to
Mm,
see the spookiness and honestly just feel spooked.
mm. Hannah's amazing too. Like, how did you approach playing Hannah? And also, like, is she a survivor just doing what it takes to stay alive, or do you think there's a deeper fascination with her to observe what's happening with the crew over there?
I thought it was really important to understand the scientific brain that she has and how
Yeah.
she, read all of these books about survival, and she's studying these frogs. So really, I did a lot of work on what that would entail, what that would entail in school, like what her schedule would have been in college, how
Yeah.
they would have, got the funding to come out into the wilderness to look for the frogs, because I felt like it was so important to know all of that for when she loses it. She loses
Mm,
it very quickly,
yeah.
but all of that stuff is still always playing in her mind. So she does know how to survive. She actually does know how to do a lot of things that the Yellow Jackets are learning, or they have
Yeah.
been learning, or maybe they've learned at this point. Even in episode 10, I've been getting a lot of questions about, well, she has to, do the butchering. She has to
Yeah.
do butchering. And I'm like, well, but yeah, but she had an anatomy class and she actually had to do that. So she knows
That's
how to do
right.
that. She never thought she would do it with a real person. That part
Mm,
is traumatic and terrifying. And I don't think she's processed any of that, but she does
mm,
know how to do it because she's read about it.
definitely. Well, what was your reaction when you were reading the script and you knew you were gonna kill Joel?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited because I've never done that in anything before. Like, I've always been the one that doesn't survive. And
Yeah.
it's the first time I've been able to do some really cool stunt work and the practical effects that they use. So I was very excited when I showed up on set. We were all like, oh my gosh, I get to do it. That's so and Joel is such a good sport. It was the last scene that he ended up filming with all of us, and he was such a good sport. We had so much fun. It was fun. It was really,
Yeah.
really
Was he sad that he didn't last that long with the series, you think?
I think he knew what he was coming into, just like with his contract. I think it would have been cool to maybe experience more time with him.
Yeah.
I think that's all that that character was meant to play out. And really, Cody and Edwin are just setting up Hannah. So setting up
Mm.
to like welcome her into the environment for who knows however long she gets to stay, is I guess up to Shauna.
There you go. I would ask this question outside the box. If you think Hannah pulled the Queen of Hearts card, how do you think she would have handled that moment?
I think we would have seen exactly what we saw in episode 7. She would have ran for her life, and
Yeah.
I think she would have like escaped. I think they would have probably found her, but I think she would have tried her hardest to run as fast as possible. I think it would have been really devastating if she had pulled the Queen of Hearts, because she's had so much happen so quickly. It's just
Right.
like their thing. Like, she can't get one day where she just doesn't have to like make some crazy decision to survive. So I'm glad she didn't.
Mhm. Did you ever think, like, reading the scripts and everything, everybody kept talking about the pit girl. Did you ever think Hannah might be the pit girl?
Oh, I thought she was the pit girl like off the bat. I first
Yeah.
day and I was in the hair and makeup trailer with Samantha who plays young Misty, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm definitely pit girl, right? Like that makes sense. That's
Mm,
me." And I never asked the showrunners. I didn't really want to know the how it played out because I wanted to play her like very truthful to what she would know in the moment.
yeah.
And when I got 10, I was like, "Oh, I not only do I make it, but I actually really help them get to the mountaintop to maybe go home, which is really cool
Mm,
to be part of that storyline."
yeah. If we'll probably will get a season four, but if we do see a season four, who do you think Hannah will team up to? Who would you want Hannah to team up with to survive in the out there?
I think she's been Team Natalie from the beginning. I think she
Okay.
sees our dynamic between Shauna and Natalie, that there
Yeah.
really are two queens, right? People
Yeah.
listen to Natalie so much, they're just terrified of Shauna. So I think I would love to see more of that Natalie relationship. And then we have to see Hannah and Jen because we know Hannah
Right.
and Jen are close and we haven't had any one-on-one interactions. So I'd be so excited to explore that with Vanessa because Vanessa is lovely, and it would be really fun to explore that and even more of Melissa because we just have a couple of moments with Melissa. So I think
Mm,
that, those the team go, which now includes Misty and Van,
yeah.
kind of seeing what happens with them if there's like some bonds or friendships that are able to form.
Mm.
Be
The
fun.
series has had like these crazy deaths too, between, killing or just accidents and things like that. Like if you could pick the way Hannah could choose her death, what would you want to see?
Um, I think I told one of the showrunners that I'd want it to be like a Carrie moment where, there's just a lot of gore because I'm a huge gore and horror fan.
Yeah.
But I also really think I want her to sacrifice herself for the greater good. I want
Mm,
her to sacrifice herself so that everybody else gets to go home. I think that would do the character some justice for all of the sadness and trauma she's enduring with them
yeah.
in the.
Well, it sounds like in the future your character has passed away, but they haven't said how or anything like that. If we see a version of you in the future, have you thought about who would you want to see to play Hannah?
Yeah. I mean, I think someone like Katie Holmes would be really good. We make
Okay.
great,
Wow. Yeah.
like, very soft and, very just has that like Hannah-esque, like naive, like sensitive energy. That would be really fun to see her play. Um, I don't know if we will ever get that. It would be
Yeah.
cool if we did, but I'm just excited to see if we get a season four, like where they go with Hannah's story and if we get to see a little bit more maybe of the past or
Mm.
like what's going on or her processing any of the trauma that's happened because I don't think we've explored any of that yet.
Last question. What's been the fan reaction with you being part of the show and any crazy theories have been thrown at you?
I thought everyone was going to hate me after episode 9. I was like, I read the script and I was like, it's okay. I think I walked in and I was like to Jasmine, I was like, everyone's going to hate me. The internet is going to hate me. And she's like, they're not going to hate you. And I'm like, they're going to hate me. I've like killed our guide and you're never going.
Yeah.
But the reaction from the fans has been the complete opposite. Everyone loves Hannah so much, and that makes me so happy because I love her so much, and I spent so much time creating her and just trying to make her as like layered as possible. So it's been really, really lovely and amazing to see the fans have such a heart for Hannah.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. I think as far as fan theories, before they knew who I was, they thought I was Deb Shipman. They thought I was
Okay.
Donna's mom. And I thought that was really fun and really funny because I do kind of look like Melanie and Sophie. You could totally kind of connect us a little bit. We favor each other. But they were like, no, she is for sure Deb Shipman. You can't tell me otherwise. I was like, gotta wait because I'm not Deb Shipman, but that's fun.
That's what's great about this show. You never know what happens next or what you see. So it's like I can't wait for season four, to be honest with you. I can't wait to see where they go with this.
Me too. And I think it's really fun that the fans are able to use their imaginations and create. And it's the fun part about having a show that comes out
Yeah.
weekly and not a binge, right? Is that whole week it can be like, oh well, Van looked at Ty like this. What was that look for? There's got to be something, and
Yeah.
you can dissect the story, which is really fun. And I think it creates this like world for the fans where they get to use their imagination and
Yeah.
create. And I'm really love. I love reading the theories and seeing what everyone's coming up with.
Amazing. Amazing. Ashley, I want to thank you for giving me a few minutes today. Good luck. I know we'll probably see you if season 4 gets announced soon, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Fingers crossed it
Yeah.
happens. I hope so too. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
you.